We've got a soundtrack to this video. So I was chatting with my friend Eddie tonight and had a bit of an epiphany. We're telling stories about our lives and about things that have happened in our lives, and each story had a bit of an edge, like how we basically messed up. And I realized that that's what we do in our brains, and that's how we hardwired, is to concentrate on the negative just to survive. When actually none of us are at war, a very small percentage of us are at war, a very small percentage of us are going to starve, and yet we still carry on telling ourselves these stories that there's danger around every corner, which is completely incorrect. Here I am in Times Square. Nobody's going to rob me. It's after 12 o'clock at night. But it's not just that. It's this realization, it doesn't grip your attention like a really good story would, because we are hardwired to watch something like drama or true crime or even a comedy. Like my favorite comedy is maybe Anchorman. Even that, there was kind of like a bit of a high point and then it dropped, and then 80% of it he was going through a hard time and then had a happy ending right at the end. But that's 80% of the time was a difficult story for him, for the lead. And it's like that in our brain. And if we can just realize that and maybe just do maybe two small things, go like, okay, I will never say something bad, right? This is what I'm going to try, okay? I'll never say something bad about someone. Okay, now I know that makes me a boring person. Okay? Like my stories are not going to be as juicy as the next guy, and maybe I'll, won't be as interesting. But I know how good that's going to be for my brain, for my mental health in the long run, because slowly over time, my brain is going to start getting used to a good story about people and then good stories about myself. It's someone very clever once said, "Do unto others." Now, obviously, you also said know thyself. Know yourself. Obviously, like if you're an alcoholic or something like that, it's good to know where your weaknesses are. My weakness in particular would be not putting this video up, because I'm a perfectionistic streak, so I would be going like, no, this is not good enough to put out there, so I'm just going to do it anyway. So that's my story. Look behind me, this is Times Square. Oh, hello. Yeah, so there's quite a bit of brightness going on. I don't know, a lot of advertising going on. There's small things you can do. Like a friend of mine, Brad, said I was complaining about a whole lot of things. He says, just get into the rhythm of being thankful for 5 minutes every morning. That kind of started me on the thing. I was going through a bit of a tough time, but I think there's so much more to it. You can actually observe the stories that you're telling other people and completely change the way. Oh, look at that burger behind me. Oh, that's one tasty looking burger, But you can change that story and going like, oh, what are they doing? They're trying to make the nation fat, instead of going, that's one tasty looking burger. So it's literally, if you just watch the words that come out your mouth about people and about yourself, you can actually change. And another example is, I had a friend, whenever he got drunk, would tell us the biggest sob stories, and you actually kind of want to stay away from a person like that, because you go like, I don't want to be hearing sob stories. And I've got other friends, and I've made the same mistake as well. You're in a romantic relationship, and then late at night you give this person a big sob story, and then that person isn't that into you anymore. The problem isn't that you let yourself go. The problem is that person found out what's actually really going on inside your brain, which isn't that pleasant, but it's going on in most people's brains. I don't know where I'm going. New York, Times Square, living room. Okay. Broadway's that way. So this is just an epiphany that I had, is to work on telling good stories and to just say life's great, which it is, right? But which it can be much greater the better stories you start telling yourself, or better stories I start telling myself. I'm experimenting on myself here. So hope you found this interesting, and you're going to hear from me. I'm going to be like, oh, this didn't work. But anyway, I'm just putting this out there, and hope you enjoyed. Thank you.